Welcome to our daily reflection for this Tuesday, February 4th. And today, again, the readings reflect and draw us into the question of faith versus fear. We see this with the first reading from the Epistle to the Hebrews, which talks about how we're surrounded by a great cloud of witnesses. The saints are cheering us on, but they're like the idea of a great amphitheater. And you have the people who are fighting it out on the stage. And the saints are cheering us on, and we have Jesus as our example. It says, keep your eyes fixed on Jesus, the leader and perfecter of our faith, who for the sake of the joy that was before him, despised the cross and its shame, looking forward to the hope that was before him. And we have to look forward. And so to see past the suffering and the sacrifices and the challenges and the cost to the fruits and to the victory at the end. And the saints are cheering us on, and that's encouraging. And then we have the gospel scene. And the gospel, Jesus is going to Jairus' home, whose daughter is 12 and is dying. And on the way, they get intercepted by a large crowd, but then a woman who reaches out and believes that if she touches but the hem of Jesus' garment, she will be healed. And she reaches out, touches the hem of his garment, and she's healed. Power goes forth from Jesus into this woman. And then Jesus stops and says, "Who touched me?" And you have Peter, who gets a bit touchy and says basically, "Lord, look at the crowd pressing upon you. How can you ask who touched you?" And Jesus said, "No, I perceive that power has gone forth from me. Someone has touched me." Now, of course, many people touched Jesus in the jostling of the crowd, but only one touched him with faith. And that person was healed. And of course, Jesus, when she confesses what happened, Jesus says, "Daughter, your faith has saved you. Go in peace." And then we see the power of faith and this woman's faith versus many touch Jesus and they don't have the kind of faith that this woman has. And it reminds me that many people receive Jesus every Sunday in Catholic churches around the world. And yet, how many receive him with eager and expectant faith? Like the faith of that woman. Those are the ones whom God's grace can take effect and heal their souls of sin and strengthen them with his divine love. And that's what we want to have, that kind of faith to receive Jesus. And then as Jesus is going, word gets out that the official's daughter has died, but Jesus turns to him and says, "Do not be afraid, only believe." The question for him is fear versus faith. Will he believe in Jesus? Or will he believe the news and despair that there's no use going and taking the teacher to his home because it's too late to heal his daughter? And Jesus says, do not be afraid, just have faith. Faith versus fear is this constant theme we're hearing of late in the Word of God. And so we have to ask this question. We have to answer this question. Do not fear, only believe. If you have Jesus speaking that to you in your prayer today, in the Word of God, in your meditation, do not fear, Jesus is telling you, only believe. Is it rather that we only fear and we don't have space for belief and trust? Isn't that too often the case? And so today we want to have faith instead of fear. Let's ask God for the grace and the grace of faith to trust in him and not be afraid. May the Lord bless and keep you.
This daily reflection is brought to you thanks to the generous support of the Mission Circle. Join the Mission Circle to help Catholics worldwide understand, live, and share their faith. Sign up at missioncircle.org today.